was, I tell you who to ask. Who's the guy that make all the little pictures of the Black Panther Party? He's from East Oakland. If somebody can catch up him, he could say, oh, that office, I mean, that place they had right up there, I'm sure he could tell you. But here's where we are now. Everybody is telling the story about everything, and they don't know what they're talking about. Therefore, that's why I'm reaching out to Pete O'Neill, who's in Tanzania, who has done a wonderful job. I'm telling you, the school he started, he's teaching Tanzanian kids. He's got computers over there now for the last several years. He didn't come back to America. He stayed over there. And I think in the 80s he might have gave up his citizenship, but he stayed over there. Okay, he stayed there, and he's been at the Malcolm X Cultural Center. They didn't change the name to the African American, African Culturals. He's teaching African children right now, today, all about computers, and imagine how good it is for the African children to be up with Western children. That's what they're doing. He and Charlotte are teaching them right now. Okay. But I want you to ask him too, where was a lot of funding of yours came from in those days? And gonna be again, don't worry. You wait, as soon as I get, boss man got us in a little money thing right now, but we're gonna get out of it in a hurry, and we're gonna come back over there. And now I'm not bragging or nothing, of course, this is what we hope we do. And we're gonna help you hook up your center. 'Cause, by the way, we at the best school in the region right here too, our school. Our school, our children now, I don't care, you name all the biggest universities around, they go to them. Guess what grades they got? Straight hundreds, right straight across the board. Right from the Negro neighborhood. So it was your activity that pushed us toward education, because remember, Masjid, school, business, and living close together. By the way, we're ready to break out of our general situation. I'm happy to inform you, I think the last thing you seen was the Sudanese embassy. Man, that was way back that you saw from here. But what we got to do is straighten the record out. Everything they put out. They put out a movie years ago, 20 years ago, Panthers. They got Oakland, they got a nigga in Oakland on the movie that's running the whole show for bad. That ain't true. And he got the Panthers burning up the warehouse. Now imagine they got it's ridiculous. They got a warehouse. They got a truck pull in, then you load the truck up with weed. Don't know niggas sell no dope like that. I don't know people sell dope like that. And then it ends with a fiery burning of the warehouse. They're not telling the truth. And then they just can't. I said I got to get the brothers together. Why? Because we have to tell our story, and we have to tell it in a hurry. Why? Because y'all is older than me, and I'm 76 years old. Yeah, so, you know, nobody has a key to longevity, like they're going to be around. You can go to the door and say, I can open this door for the next 40 years. That ain't the way it is. So No, in real life, we have to tell the story ourselves. And nobody's telling that story correctly. Nobody's telling that story correctly. And if y'all remember, I always was underground in the background. Never no publicity, never nothing, none of that. Okay. But now Boss Man went to the extent over here to where they don't want my name mentioned nowhere on nothing. So I'm going to do this series of DVDs. I'm getting around to the colleges, black colleges and universities, or all of them. As soon as we get them fixed up, and I'm going to go around putting out the information that we have. What we need from y'all is we start working on our information package right now. So that means, I remember Pete was a keeper of the library and all of the history of the party in exile. So now, when you get up in the morning, start putting all that together. Why? Because we got to tell our story. They can't tell it right because they don't know what happened. They can't tell it right because they don't know what happened. So they fill it in with all of this stuff. You ought to go, well, I guess y'all got the modern computers. You can see these movies they showing over here. They've been showing. They don't have the truth about nothing. They don't build the story up to what really happened to the party, the good part that rose up, and the sickness and the foolishness that entered. If y'all remember, when I came there, I was telling y'all about stuff that was going on in Oakland. And people were shaking down liquor stores and others. That was Huey and them. Huey turned the party, well, everybody know now, into a criminal organization. To his friend Bobby Seale and them was cut off, because Bobby always seemed he never went bad. But Huey went so bad, you know, it was unbelievable. He didn't go bad in 1989. Huey went bad as soon as he got out of jail. Why did he go bad? He went bad because when he was in CMC East or CMC West down there, California Men's Colony, he was listening to Negroes. And you know how Negroes are in jail. Man, I'm slamming doors and pipping holes. And when Huey came out of prison, remember Huey killed a young black girl, 17. They was going out to nightclubs and them bums was with him, was beating up everybody. Had the white lady down there, Jane Fonda and them. You know where Huey lived? Huey lived in the Lakeshore Apartments on the 26th floor all the way to the top. You know who lived on the 24th, 23rd floor? And that? My friends. There was gangsters. They're the only ones in those days was $600 a month, $650. So could nobody just go down there? Lakeshore Towers, right over Lake Merritt, right? We knew what Huey did all the time. Why? Because we was down there with him. And we could tell what happened. He, instead of going into prison and revolutionize the people, he went to prison and the niggers turned him out, turned him into a nigger. The niggers in jail. Remember all the talk, driving up and down the barracks and them Broham. Yeah, man, I had so many holes, I didn't know what to do. Nigga getting money out the side of his ears. You're talking that mess. Huey came out, call anybody. Well, everybody know that's what happened. But he paid the price. He might have got a PhD, but he died of a nigga blowing him away. The old something crack, dope. I'm not saying he deserved it. Nobody deserved that kind of useless death. But now we got a chance, an opportunity to clear up the record. Everybody that said their piece and have nobody said it right. So we got, and believe it or not, you would think everybody, since I knew everybody, you would think everybody on every campus would be inviting me to, would you come and talk about the party? Would you come and talk about the Black Panther Party? Not an invite. Why? Because they got a white folks list. I'm telling you, whatever you say, they got a white folks list, and they only invite the niggas that's going to sing their song. Just like it was one of the brothers over there with y'all for years. He professor at Long Beach State, and he said, yeah, you going to let the people know about that package you dropped off, talking to me. I don't know about no package. He stayed over there for years. I'm sure you know him, because all them niggas that sit over there with y'all was police too. Yes, they was. You can say what you want. Hey, the Negroes that left here coming over there in the 70s and on, them was, they left the sheriff's office. I'm just saying 90% of them. I'm sure everybody wasn't. What college they came from, what university they came from, when they came back, they made them experts on black nationalism, black history, and they didn't do nothing. Not a thing. And you can help them with a few things, especially Brother Pete about, who's our brother, the Minister of Foreign? Was it an African guy that was very close to Malcolm? Do y'all remember his name? Ahmed. I think it was his name in a minute. He was the Minister of Rural Development and Urban Planning, something like that. Yeah, he was right at the State House, right down there by the hotel. The one that you told me when I came back in '73 that had a job set aside for me or something. That's the one. You remember his name. I'll remember it too in a minute. Okay, so let's get on. We have to educate and train our people on not only what happened then, what's happened in between, and now use that as a platform to build on. Because whether they're ready, we have a second and third chance at a new go-round here. Remember, we're still alive. And the amount of gain that we gained, you can tell that we had learned a lot. You could ask anybody how accurate we have been at predicting the behavior of the United States of America. People will say 95%. Some will even say 100%, right? At predicting the behavior of the United States government. And the direction it's going in, how close it is to its decline and all of that. Okay, now everything has worked out according to our understanding of what human beings and human systems would produce. So now, in our senior citizenshipism, we got a chance to raise a whole new cadre of people. And that's what our next stage is. We need all of y'all's help. But if I have to do it by myself, that's what we're going to do. It's not no time for rest, a pension, and I did my job and moving into the old folks' home. This is not it. Allah kept us alive for some reason, and this is it. So I'm reaching out strictly to Sekou Dinga up in New York. Allah raised him up from that penitentiary for some reason, right? I haven't seen him in a while, but that's who we're talking to. And also tell him, don't hold anything against me like winning most of the basketball games that we played when I was a, don't worry about that. He and I was the only one involved in the physical fitness program. The rest of the niggas in Algeria was sitting up getting high. And I'm reminding you, Pete, what you told me in '73.